This conference will now be recorded.
All right, I have 6 o'clock, so we're going to begin. It is January 25th, 2021, and we're holding a special meeting of the Dayton Town Council. This meeting is being held by phone because of the COVID-19 pandemic and in compliance with the governor's executive orders. This meeting is open for the public to listen in real time and by recording afterward, and an option has been provided for residents to speak during the meeting on agenda items. Present on the phone are our town attorney, Reed Murtaugh, clerk treasurer, Michelle Freeward, town manager, Mark Harlow, town marshal, Scott Taylor, and the 5 members of the town council who will now identify themselves by roll call. Ron.
Yes.
Dan.
Here.
Carla. Present. Ashley.
Here.
And I'm Jen, and I'm here, so all 5 members are present. We've said it before, but I'll just read this again. Everyone has been extended the courtesy of being allowed to speak, but it's a privilege and not a right. When someone interrupts people, speaks in disrespectful, belligerent tones, or interjects snarky comments, or speaks out about things not related to the topic at hand, they will be muted, or if they insert wild accusations, they'll be muted. Being unmuted is a privilege that we've extended, but it's not a right or a requirement. If there is any discussion tonight, we'll try to keep it to 2 minutes per person to start. There is a change in the agenda. The other meeting that we need to schedule will deal with the separation of the utility office because I don't have the ordinances and the resolutions or all the documents needed. They're not ready yet. So we want everybody to have time to review them, and I want to put them on the website. Hopefully that's okay. So our meeting for that will be Tuesday, February 2nd at 6 p.m. All right. First up is the approval of claims. I make a motion to approve the following invoices from Alpha Business Technologies. Invoice number 214080 for $1,620, and invoice 214081 for $580 for a total of $2,200.
I second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan to approve the 2 invoices from Alpha Business Technologies in the amount of $2,200. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Okay, motion is approved 5-0. All right, I move to approve invoice number 221258 from Church Hirsch, Hiddle and Antrim, dated January 13th, 2021 in the amount of $137.50.
I second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by myself to approve the invoice from Church Hiddle and Antrim. Is there any further discussion? Seconded by Stan. Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you vote to approve the invoice from Church Hiddle and Antrim for $137.50? Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
No.
Okay, motion carries 4-1. I move to approve the invoice from Gall dated December 29th, 2020 in the amount of $148.52. It's invoice 017303276.
I second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan to approve the invoice from Galls. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the invoice for $148.52 from Galls? Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And that motion carries 5-0. I move to approve paying Indiana Municipal Lawyers Association $85
I second it.
enrollment or whatever. Okay, there's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan to pay Indiana Municipal Lawyers Association. Is there any further discussion? Reed, do you want to just remind everybody what that's for?
Sure. Yeah, that's for my ability to have access to all the resources through Indiana Municipal Lawyers Association, which includes the listserv and continuing legal education courses.
Perfect. Okay, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve $85 to Indiana Municipal Lawyers Association? Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so that carries 5-0. I move to approve invoice number 14002 in the amount of $34.18 from Menards dated November 23rd, 2020.
I second it.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan to approve the invoice from Menards for $34.18. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the invoice for $34.18 from Menards? Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so that carries 5-0. I move to approve invoice number 759 in the amount of $715 dated January 11th, 2021 from Murtaugh Law.
I second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan to approve invoice number 759 in the amount of $715. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the invoice from Murtaugh Law? Ron?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so that carries 5-0. I move to approve the invoice from Quick Lube dated January 4th, 2021 in the amount of $92.39.
I second it.
It has been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan to approve the invoice from Quick Lube for $92.39. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Yep.
I just had a question. Was that for police? For the Quick Lube?
Yeah, it was for.
Did you give me that yet or no? Okay, if not, I'll get it from you.
I can send it to you if it's, yeah, it was for a oil change.
Okay, that's fine. It might just be in my folder, but I just don't remember it. Go ahead.
Yep, okay. Roll call vote. Ron, do you approve the invoice from Quick Lube?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm a yes, so that passes 5-0. I move to approve the Schomer's invoice dated December 24th, 2020 in the amount of $2,231.14. Invoice number 159353.
I second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan to approve the Schomer's invoice. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the Schomer's invoice for $2,231.14, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so that passes 5-0. Okay, now we are moving on to approve the minutes, and we're just gonna hopefully do them all at once. So I move to approve the final minutes from the following meetings from the year 2020. February 3rd bid opening, March 9th town council, March 9th utility board, May 13th town council, May 13th utility board, June 15th town council, June 15th utility board, July 13th town council, July 22nd special meeting, August 12th town council, August 12th utility board, August 25th special meeting, September 14th town council, September 14th utility board, September 17th internal controls ordinance, September 18th salary ordinance, October 12th budget hearing, October 12th town council, October 12th utility board, October 19th budget work session, October 22nd executive session, and October 26th budget adoption.
I second him.
Okay, that's 22 minutes in all. There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Ron to approve those 22 minutes from 2020. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the list of 22 minutes that I just said? Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
No.
Okay, that carries 4-1. So we're almost done with the 2020 minutes. We just have November and December, and then we will finally be done with 2020. So we'll move on to the approval of report. I asked Reed, and he gave the okay to approve these reports monthly. That's correct, right, Reed?
Yes.
Okay. I move to approve the following reports from January 2020, the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
I'll second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the January 2020 reports. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the report from January 2020, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so that carries 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from February 2020, the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
I'll second.
There's a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the February 2020 report. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the reports from February 2020, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so they're approved 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from March 2020, the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve the March 2020 reports by myself and seconded by Carla. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a vote. Do you approve the March 2020 reports, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so March 2020 is approved 5-0. I move to approve these reports from April 2020, the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
Okay.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve these reports from April 2020. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the April 2020 reports, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes. Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so they're approved 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from May 2020, the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the reports from May 2020. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the reports from May 2020? Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so they're approved 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from June 2020, the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the June 2020 reports. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the reports from June 2020, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla,
Yes.
Ashley,
Yes.
and I vote yes, so they're approved 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from July 2020: the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the reports from July 2020. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the reports from July 2020, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so the July reports are approved 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from August 2020: the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the reports from August 2020. Is there any further discussion? We will take a roll call vote. Do you approve the reports from August 2020, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so those reports are approved 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from September 2020: the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the reports from September 2020. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the reports from September 2020, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so September 2020 reports are approved 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from October 2020: appropriation report, bank reconciliation, fund report, and revenue report.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the reports from October 2020. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the October 2020 reports, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so October 2020 reports are approved 5-0. I move to approve the following reports from November 2020: the appropriation report, the bank reconciliation, the fund report, and the revenue report.
Second.
There's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Carla to approve the reports from November 2020. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve the November 2020 reports, Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
And I vote yes, so those are approved 5-0. All right, next on the agenda, well, the last thing on the agenda, because numbers 6 and 7 are being moved to our February 2nd meeting, the clerk treasurer office window. I got a estimate from Nate for the window to be put in the hallway there. It's for $895. It's $650 for his labor, and then $245 for the actual window. I don't know that this actually needs a motion because we already have approved the money for the office, but I thought since he was doing it separate, we could just make a motion and approve this new estimate. So I would move to approve up to $895 to Nate's Handyman Service to put a window in the newly created office space at Town Hall.
I second it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by myself and seconded by Stan to approve up to $895 to Nate's Handyman Service to put a window in the newly created office space. Is there any further discussion?
Do we know that
And
a window is needed?
Sorry, what, Michelle?
Go ahead and let Ashley say what he was first.
Oh, Ashley?
So this is Ashley. Do we even know that a window is wanted or needed?
Wanted by Michelle?
Yes.
I talked to Michelle, and she was not opposed to it, but she can speak for herself.
Oh, I was just wondering the window, because I know that we had talked about how you wanted to put like a sliding, how like it's at the doctor's. This window that Nate gave a quote on, is it something that is like unbreakable because those are so thin, and are they able to lock? So like, can somebody come up with just like a rock or a hammer and break through it? Or what is the security level of that window?
It does have a lock on it. I don't know the security level rating on it, but I mean,
because it does have to be something that it can't be like, in here is bulletproof, so somebody can't just come up. So it definitely has to be something that can't just be broke with like a rock or a hammer, because that would still be a security issue. I don't know if you've discussed that with him.
Well, I mean, it's in town hall, and that has a bunch of security, you know, it has a security system anyway, so I don't know that.
Right, but that office space has to be secure to where nobody's getting access to it.
Well, it locks. It for sure locks. I mean, nobody's just going to walk up and open the window. But I mean, if they wanted to, I don't know, bust through the wall, bust through the door. I mean,
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
Well, first of all the money now is going to be in the utilities office. And in the utilities office, there's windows in there that you can take a rock or a hammer and bust in, and they just fall apart, and you can go right in there. There are 2 security systems in this building, and there's 11 cameras in this building, and the front doors, back doors, side doors are all locked too. So, it's most town halls, about every one I've ever visited. I don't think I know. I've been to 35 of them. I don't think there's bulletproof. I don't think there's bulletproof glass in any of them. But all of them, we got the security systems. They're secured. The window locks, the door locks. So, and you won't have the money in your office. So.
I'm not concerned about the money. I was just concerned that I know it had to be foolproof. I was just making sure that it wasn't like a thin piece of glass. And I mean, that's all I was saying. I'm still going to have sensitive cements, but the point is just that it's secure. That's all I was asking. I didn't come for a debate. I was just asking a simple question. That was all, since I have no idea what's being put in. So I was just asking a simple question.
Do you want to respond to Ashley's question, Michelle? So I'm not speaking for you.
I have no problem personally with the window, as long as I know that it is going to be something secure. So if you wouldn't mind, like maybe sending me a link or showing me what it is that you're putting in, just so that I'm on the same page of knowing, and maybe you and I can discuss it, or see if there's other options if need be, since we can professionally discuss topics. I figured if you don't mind doing that, Jen, just so I know what's going in there.
Yeah, I can talk to Nate and see if he has a link or something.
Okay, yeah.
Scott, do you have anything?
I think that'd be a good idea, and then we can pick this up at the next meeting.
I'd like to continue with this. Scott, is there anything that you could add to the discussion?
Who you talk? What'd you say?
Marshall Taylor.
Oh.
I just wondered if he had any insight. Anything he wanted to add?
I guess if anything, Jen, if I'm not comfortable with what Nate shows us, can we just X the window altogether and not have one at all?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, because like we had that discussion when you and Ron were up here about exactly once I'm not handling utilities, the only time that I would actually have in face-to-face interaction with residents. So, I mean, if it's not absolutely necessary, and I'm not 110% comfortable with the material or whatever that it's made of, why spend $900 if it's really not that necessary? Because I mean, people could still come and knock on my door and come in and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm comfortable with either way, but I just don't want something that's extremely flimsy that it's not. Yeah. So
Sorry, I don't know, like, safety, sorry, are you done? It keeps cutting off.
You're good. You're good.
I don't mean to interrupt. So I don't know, like, safety ratings of windows, or, like, I guess what for sure you'd want. It's a dual pane sliding residential window.
Commercial window. It's like,
well, I mean, if you guys
it's like used in
are okay,
it's like used in doctors' offices and commercial buildings. And the purpose of this window also, because I think there's a lot of Facebook chatter by Michelle and your friends that there was no light in the office too. It's a dual purpose. It opens up that office, makes it an office, lets in light, and lets you service the customers that walk up there, which, according to everything on before was said, there'll be still quite a few customers. So.
Well,
For
I mean, we don't
utilities,
even,
yes.
if you would prefer no, like, if you'd be more comfortable with no window, then, I mean, we don't need to force a window onto you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how about you and I get together? I see what he's wanting to put in there, and if I just don't feel comfortable with it, we just won't spend the money and waste to have a window there. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't really give you an honest opinion without seeing it exactly picked out.
So, Michelle, are you saying if it's bulletproof or safety enough, you want it? You need to say first, do you want it or not, if it's secure enough? Do you want a window that's secure enough?
If I believe it is secure enough, then I have no problem with it. But if I don't feel like it's secure enough, then I ask that it not go in.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying. I'll have that discussion with Jeff.
Then I think we need to have the window and go with the understanding we have a window, but we'll make it, if it's not thick enough glass, we'll make it thicker glass. If it's got to be bulletproof glass, we'll make it bulletproof glass. But then you have a window.
This is all just like, who gets to say if it's secure? Because, I mean, it's a $250 window. It better be super nice, you know, and if it's double pane, I don't think it's going to break if somebody knocks on it, but I don't know that we need to get bulletproof glass. That's
no,
I don't think so.
Don said that.
I think the discussion's going a lot farther than what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say Jen will get me to be able to look at it, and if I'm comfortable, since it will be my office, then I should be able to say, hey, right now, let's not spend the $900. I don't feel comfortable with it, or hey, I don't need it. And you guys have the motion to do it, but I don't see why their problem would be if I say, nah, I'm just okay. Because like I said, once I don't have utilities anymore, the only time I'm going to have interaction is if a builder comes in to get the manual or notarizing things or paying fines or stuff like that. I'm not going to have the daily interaction like the utility is.
Okay. So there was a motion by me and seconded by Dan, and we to approve up to $895 for the window. Is there any further discussion?
Can that motion be withdrawn until we find out more?
I think we need to keep that motion.
I'd rather keep it so we can move on and get it taken care of instead of waiting for another meeting. So we can get the office complete as soon as possible. As soon as all the stuff for the baseboards comes in. And
I agree with that.
I agree.
All right. We'll take a roll call vote. Do you approve up to $895 to Nate Handyman Service for a window in the new created office space at Town Hall? Ron?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Carla?
Yes.
Ashley?
No.
And I'm a yes, so that passes 4-1. All right, the other things on the agenda are going to be for the meeting on February 2nd at 6 p.m. So, are there any other comments before we adjourn? Okay, having no other business before us, this meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone.